Hi everyone, Triple Diamond Sandy Durre here. Happy Friday. My tip today is going to be about staying plugged in. I can't tell you how important this is. Not just so much staying plugged in with your calls and training, but also staying plugged into your team. This is so important. If you've noticed that you've had a dip in your business, or people aren't responding to you, or you only reach out to them once a month and it's usually at the end of the month, you're going to find that they're less receptive and they're not really going to respond back to you, and you're going to get frustrated, and things are going to start falling off. So I really want you guys to think about how many times, too, that you're talking to the person who signed you, your sponsor, because we all know that people get in our ear. We have those ups and downs in our businesses, and it's really important to talk to your sponsor at least once a week, if a minimum, because I know they've gone through the same thing that you're going through, with people canceling their parties, canceling their auto ships, canceling their distributorships, people telling you no, naysayers getting in your ear. It all happens to every single one of us. We've been through it. But when you can get on the phone with your sponsor and talk it out and figure out, how can you move forward, you're really going to feel a difference in you as an individual and as a leader in your business. Conference calls are key, guys. I can't tell you how important it is to get on team calls and conference calls, because even though you may have heard something 10 times before, it's going to be that 11th call that you get on that you're going to hear something differently in the way it was described by that person. And you don't want to miss out on the cool things that corporate announces. A lot of the times you will hear something new on a conference call that corporate puts out there. But definitely stay plugged into any of the weekly calls. It doesn't necessarily have to be your sponsor's call. It can be anything. Trainings are a must. I can't tell you guys how important it is to stay plugged into training. Even though you've heard the same thing, you know the party tag, you've heard the same thing probably 5, 6, 7, 10 times, your new people haven't. So you need to lead by example, and you need to bring these new people to training, and you need to be there to show them and start that layered leadership, because they're going to follow your example. And if you don't go, they won't go. Plain and simple. I've seen it over the last 2 years. And then lastly, work with your downline. Talk to your people. Stay plugged into them. I like to do cluster training. And by cluster training, I mean I get my Rubies together, and I make sure that everyone in that Ruby cluster know each other, because they're directly affecting each other, and they need to know each other. And again, that's building your layered leadership. So just staying plugged in is really important. Not just staying plugged into your sponsor and weekly calls and trainings in your area, but also staying plugged into your team. It's so important. You're changing their life and they're changing yours. So why aren't you taking advantage of that and getting to know them? Because this is about building relationships. And if you don't have a relationship with them, then they're not going to trust you, and they're probably not going to want to stick around for a long time because they don't feel valued. So being plugged in is key. If you have any further questions on how to do that, I would be more than happy to help. But have a great weekend, guys, and I'll talk to you next week.